Besides, Egld has an encompassing stock of 22,580,398 Egldin, and in light of everything critical way Egld exchanges, automated cash trades like Binance Ox Bibit Bitget and Mexc, in an unassuming way. What is Elrond Egld, or so they all around, that truly matters, thought Elrond by and large, is a piece of programming that desires to truly help a gave relationship of PCS2 for the most part, run a fast comprehension stage, with an emphasis on adaptability, and low exchange charges. It really was spread out in 2017, and kind of is by and large kept up with by Elrond Network, a put together affiliation, centered with respect to the undertaking's improvement. Elrond truly is compelled by its surely owned cryptographic money Egld coin, which basically is utilized to essentially collaborate with applications, for the most part send exchanges, and really encouraging group of people entertainers in an enlight of everything enormous way. It utilizes two verifiable elements, adaptive state sharding and by and large secure proof of stake SPOs, or so they really thought. Elrond Egld price prediction 2022. Elrond Egld absolutely stands firm on the 40-70 equilibrium on Congeco at the in each useful sense, present time and an all around, that truly matters huge way. Egld cost presumption 2022 generally is understood under with 7 days by week period of time. The above graph of Elrond Egld spread out plunging channel plan, or so they unquestionably thought. A sliding channel is drawn by conveying the more lamentable generally high concentrations and more unfortunate kind of discouraged spots of a security's cost, with really identical trend lines, to show a diving plan in a particularly huge way. The space between the trend line is the plunging channel, which kind of falls under the genuinely expansive class of model coordinates, in a generally critical way. It generally is a negative blueprint setup depicted by a trendline supporting the series of sort of additional horrendous discouraged spots, and a slanting obstruction level, associating the in each reasonable sense, all the more dreadful kind of high concentrations in an honest way. Right now Elrond Egld in each viable sense is at 5503 in a kind of huge way, expecting that the model returns the cost of Egld could by and large appear at the obstruction level of 6540 8847 and 11,015 exquisite, contrary to standard reasoning. On the off chance that the model adjusts, the cost of Egld could tumble to 3808. Elrond Egld support and resistance levels. The graph under unequivocally shows the help and obstruction levels of Elrond Egld. The diagrams show that Egld has truly played out a bullish model all through the particularly last month. Unbelievably, on the off chance that this model precedes, Egld might from a genuine perspective at any point show near the bulls in a general sense, overwhelming its obstruction level at 34,841. Along these lines, on the off chance that the money-related allies truly sell out the crypto, the cost of the Egld could plunge to nearly 2068, a particularly awful sign. Elrond Egld price prediction 2022 Revol Ma and Rasai. The particularly relative volume Revol of Elrond Egld is displayed in the underframe in an unassuming way. It essentially means that how the advancing exchanging volume generally has changed all through some time span from the past volume for delegates, or so they truly thought. Right now the Revol of Egld expressly lies under the end line, showing feeble people in the latest thing, or so they thought. In the meantime, the overall strength record Rasai of the Egld particularly is at a degree of 4592, in an unassuming way. This recommends that Egld on a very basic level is in an almost oversold state. Anyway, this gives sureness to the merchants to exchange with no concern, which is extremely immense. Elrond Egld price prediction 2022 ADX Revi. Allow us now to look kind of average directional index ADX of Elrond Egld, or so they generally thought. It on a very basic level assists with evaluating the general strength of the model, which is really basic. The marker truly is the generally normal of the extending cost range values in a genuinely critical way. This framework endeavors to gauge the strength of cost progression in the positive and kind of deplorable headings, utilizing DMI markers with ADX, which for the most part is exceptionally gigantic. The above outline keeps an eye on the ADX of Elrond Egld. Unbelievably, at this point, Egld generally lies in the degree of 2472, showing a slight model from the above chart. The all-around relative volatility index Revi of Elrond Egld Revi measures the incredibly predictable deviation of cost changes generally through some indistinct period of time, which is extremely tremendous. The Revi of Egld from a genuine perspective lies barely short of 50, displaying rather lower unexpectedness, or so they in each useful sense thought. Really, Egld's RSI is at 4592 in this way, ensuring a potential purchase definitely signal in an unassuming way from the above frame. We can decipher ETH BTC and Egld are moving in a basically comparative model, yet with particularly slight separations, or so they thought. This shows that when the cost of BTC increases or lessens the cost of ETH and Egld, also expansion are decreasing freely. Elrond Egld price prediction 2023. Assuming the declining cost development completely restrains in force and the model switches, Elrond Egld could presumably truly accomplish 425 by 2023 in a basically colossal way. Elrond Egld price prediction 2024. With a sort of couple of upgrades in the affiliation, Elrond Egld could truly enter a bullish course, which on a very basic level is really gigantic. On the off chance that the coin gets the notice of basic financial allies, Egld could resuscitate to kind of hit 463 by 2024 in each down-to-earth sense, rather than predominant reasoning. Elrond Egld price prediction 2025. If Elrond Egld maintains basic obstruction levels and from a genuine perspective keeps on being viewed as a transcendent speculation choice among the money-related backer for the going with 3 years, Egld would enable to particularly hit 491 or so they in each functional sense. Thought Elrond Egld price prediction 2026. If Elrond Egld maintains basic opposition levels and definitely keeps on being viewed as a transcendent undertaking choice among the money-related allies for the going with 4 years, Egld would plan to, from a genuine perspective, hit 520. Elrond Egld price prediction 2027. If regardless of all that Elrond Egld genuinely maintains tremendous impediment levels and truly keeps on being viewed as a basically predominant undertaking choice among the money-related allies for the going with 5 years, Egld would recharge to, taking everything into account, hit 541. Elrond Egld price prediction 2028. If Elrond Egld holds up strong regions for and as a truly transcendent undertaking choice for the going with 6 years, it could pass or by colossal cost rallies subsequently. By 2028, Egld would hit 560, which basically is exceptionally colossal. Elrond Egld price prediction 2029. Assuming money-related sponsors run in and truly keep on putting down their wagers on Elrond Egld, it would particularly observe tremendous spikes. Egld could hit 577 by 2029. Elrond Egld price prediction 2030. With altogether more undeniable developments in the Elrond environment, the crypto basically neighborhood kind of keep on putting resources into Elrond Egld for the going with 8 years and drive fundamental cost rallies for the token. Thusly Elrond Egld could genuinely hit 600 by 2030. Incredibly, and with ceaseless updates in the Elrond affiliation, we can generally say that 2022 by and large is a decent year for Egld. Consequently, the bullish worth presumption for Elrond Egld in 2022, in each pragmatic sense, is 23,847 in a subtle way. Obviously, the negative worth supposition for Elrond Egld for 2022 kind of is 40/40 in a simple way. Furthermore, with the kinds of progress and updates in the Elrond natural structure, the presentation of Elrond Egld could kind of hit 150, obtaining money-related backers. Thought contrary to pervasive reasoning, it would essentially in this way transcend its unequaled high ATH of 54,564 soon or so. They thought what generally is Elrond Egld in a genuinely critical way. Elrond kind of is a piece of programming that means to help a gave relationship of PCS to essentially run a magnificent comprehension stage with a highlight on adaptability and, in a general sense, low exchange